And now, listeners, we follow fashion correspondent Mary Hampton, who had an interesting stop on one of her recent road trips. This is High Fashion Highway, the problems with picketers.
Mary Hampton here, on the road in my little green Packard, heading back to my old stomping grounds, San Francisco. I'm driving north in California's Central Valley, and if any of you are wondering, no, I did not go through Los Angeles. All that trouble last year with zoot suits really left a bad taste in my mouth. I often find things are much calmer in the country. Anyways, and what beautiful country the Central Valley is. Indeed, it serves as one of the key agricultural spots in North America. And hang on, there are a bunch of people blocking the highway. It appears they have some signs, but I'm too far away to read them. By the look of things, I don't think any of these cars are going anywhere. I think I'll go investigate what the problem is. Excuse me. Hi, excuse me.
Anong gusto mo?
Could you tell me what you're blocking this highway for?
Hindi ako nagsasalitang Ingles. Magtanong ka sa iba.
I'm so sorry. I don't speak that language. Oh, hello. Perhaps you could tell me what's going on here.
Unase a nosotros o hágase a un lado, señora.
Oh, goodness. It's moments like these that I wish I could see a nice young man.
Miss Hampton?
Arturo?
What the heck are you doing out here near Bakersfield?
What are you doing here? I thought you were going to stay in Los Angeles.
I did for a while, but I've been working the cotton farms out here to send money back home to me familia.
Cotton farms? I thought California's Central Valley only grew nuts and fruits. Well, what has you out here blocking the highway?
We're on strike.
Strike?
Yes, the National Farm Labor Union is trying to get us better wages and living conditions.
Aren't those things being set by the federal government due to the war?
Sure, but it doesn't mean they know what's best for all of us on the ground doing the real work, or how we're all treated by some of these farmers.
That's a good point.
My bigger issue is that all of us workers get no respect from the farm owners, and we're often discriminated against. We're keeping this country and its soldiers fed during this war, and we deserve respect, the same amount of respect as everyone else.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're still as fiery and passionate about people's rights as the last time I saw you. Some things never change.
Miss Hampton, the cops are coming to break this up.
I'd better get back to my car. Do you want to come with me? I don't want you to get arrested.
There's no time. You've been standing with us long enough that you're going to get arrested too.
What? I'm just a bystander.
That doesn't matter. We gotta go.
What about my little green Packard?
It'll be fine. Follow me. Bienvenida a mi casa.
Oh, Arturo, this isn't much more than a shack next to a river. You live here?
See, and I built this place myself, thank you.
No wonder you're striking if these are the conditions you have to live.
Well, the farm owners provide bunk housing, and then they charge us for it and take it out of all of the workers' pay. Chale, I'd rather be on my own.
What is this strike all about?
Simon, well, since the Japanese were put in the camps, much of the agricultural work has gone to Mexicanos being sent in to fill the gap.
Mexicans? Like you?
No. Well, yes, I am Mexican, but I mean that these are Mexicans, Mexicanos, that still call Mexico home. They're here as part of something called the Bracero program. They're braceros.
Sounds like a means to keep things moving.
Sure, but it also sets a low standard for workers who aren't part of the program. And we want higher wages, better working conditions, free of discrimination.
What about the Bracero workers' rights?
They face the same discrimination as us, but worse sometimes. And they're not even American citizens. The agreements they signed when they came here means they can't even strike with us.
Sounds to me like this is quite complicated and a nuanced situation.
Yes, I suppose it is. But it's also simple, too. If workers made enough wages and weren't discriminated against for who they are or what language they speak, there wouldn't be so much stress about this stuff.
Arturo, galing ako sa stasyon ng pulisya.
Natutuwa akong ayos ka. Ilan gayon?
10 sa amin ang inaresto ngayon.
Naiintindihan ko. Kumusta ang pakiramdam ng iba?
May ilan sa amin na patuloy na nananindigan pero karamihan ay nararamdaman na.
Huwag mo nang tapusin. Naintindihan ko. Tingnan na lang natin kung ang ihahatid in bukas. Tama ba?
Oo.
Speaking of languages, that's definitely not Spanish.
No, it's not Spanish. It's Filipino.
I thought it was just Mexicans working the farms these days.
The bracero workers are all from Mexico, sure, but there's farm workers from all over the world that work here in the Central Valley. We all face the same struggles in this industry, but we're beginning to start working together.
Do you think the strike will succeed?
No.
Arturo, I didn't take you for a pessimist.
It's not pessimistic to look at the face of things and accept the likely outcome. We are a fraction of the labor force right now. Our voice is small, and the union supporting us is still organizing itself. Not to mention, the farmers seem to have the police in their pocket. They arrested another 10 of us today for that picket line.
Well, why are you doing all this if you feel it's futile?
It's not about winning today. It's about setting a direction so that we can win tomorrow.
Well, who knows? Maybe you can win today, too. How can I help?
Help? Mary, you're a little out of your league here. This strike has nothing to do with clothing.
You're right. It doesn't. It concerns something much more important than clothing. It concerns my friend, and it concerns people's rights.
Well, you're a real friend, Miss Hampton, but really, all you do is get yourself arrested. Your car's already been impounded. You know, really, it's nice to see you and all, but this isn't your fight.
Ridiculous. I've already got a plan.
You do?
I do. I'll be back later, and hopefully with some good news. Listeners, I am walking up the dirt road to the farmer of this cotton farm. I am going to give him a piece of my mind. Excuse me, farmer man.
Well, howdy. You lost, ma'am?
Am I lost? Are you lost, sir? You've a bunch of your hard-working workers on strike, and you're just sitting here whittling wood and chewing tobacco.
Well, now, I don't take kindly to you criticizing my afternoon routine. But I can assure you those strikers won't be any trouble soon enough. The police already rounded up enough of them to scare them off for a while. If they don't want to get back to work under the terms that they agreed to when they were hired, well, then I got a bunch of Okies squatting on the back half of my property.
Okies?
Dust Bowl folk. They lost everything, and they'll work for hardly nothing. Only reason I haven't put them to work yet is because those strikers are likely to get violent.
Oh, that's quite presumptive. Sounds to me like they want to be recognized and respected more than anything.
Yeah? Tell that to their union rep. They also want more money.
What's wrong with that?
You do realize there's a war going on. Or maybe you have heard. We're a bit tight on resources right now, and every extra penny that we give to a picker is at least 2 pennies out of the pockets of Americans all across this country.
Starting with your pockets, right?
I didn't take you for a labor lover with your fancy clothes.
I just believe in people being treated fairly with respect.
Oh, really? Well, you are in the wrong place.
I completely agree. You know something, though. If you are in a position where it's between giving your current workers better working situation or exploiting the labor of those poor Okies, and your choice is to further exploit, well, that says a lot about your values.
Values, smallies. Get off my property before I call the cops again.
Again?
Yeah. Who do you think called for them to get rounded up earlier today?
Oh, that is despicable.
If you don't get off my property, I'll go in the house and get something that you'll find really despicable.
I am leaving.
So how'd that go?
Oh, Arturo, I got a taste of that farmer man.
He's just the tip of the iceberg. He just ignores us most of the time, but his bunkhouses are in terrible condition. Other farmers are a lot worse, and they make a point of disrespecting us because we are different from them.
I am sure, and a world like this cannot stand. I've got a plan.
I'm sure you do.
And I need your help.
And I expected that. What can I do?
Can you get me to the impound station? I need to get my package.
Yes, that's right. The things people leave in their cars is bizarre. Uh-oh. Someone just walked in. Yeah. I'll tell you more about it later. Can I do something for you?
Hello, yes. I'm here to inquire about my car.
Your car?
Yes, this is the impound office, is it not?
Is that what the sign on the building says?
I'm fairly certain, seeing that I just stepped into the building.
Congratulations, you can read.
I must say you're being a bit rude.
Oh, am I?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you are. Why is that?
Didn't you just hop off a work truck filled with those cotton pickers?
Yes.
That's why.
Sir, I asked those kind workers for a ride on their way to...
On their way to where? A picket line? Another roadblock on the highway?
Why does everyone have a problem with these pickers picketing about the working conditions?
You're aware we're at war, right?
Yes, I'm aware, and even if I wasn't, I'm reminded by everyone around me in nearly every conversation I have. But war is no reason to put workers' rights on the sidelines.
Listen, miss, I'm not here to argue with you about those pickers.
I'm not the one who decided to treat me rudely based on who I arrived here with.
I'm also not here to be nice about those beggars or their friends.
Then give me the keys to my car and I'll be on my way.
What car?
My little green Packard.
Oh, yes. What a surprise. That Packard was the only vehicle left sitting in the middle of the highway after the police cleared out those pickers.
Is that relevant?
It is to me.
Well, clearly you don't enjoy my company, so if you'll just give me my keys.
I can't do that, miss.
Excuse me?
You owe the city of Bakersfield a little bit of money for all that trouble bringing in the Packard here.
I assumed you would charge me something. How much do I need to give you?
$50.
$50?
Yep.
Surely that can't be right.
Let's see. Towing fee, $20. Storage fee, $10. Administrative fee, $10. Release fee, $10. Yep, $50.
A release fee? What is that for?
For releasing the keys to you.
That charge seems a little steep. Seems more like an inconvenience fee.
Maybe it is. Either way, you gotta pay it if you want to drive out of here.
I don't have that sort of money on me.
Then you aren't driving out of here.
This is all absurd. The only reason this happened is because the police came to break up a peaceful protest. Who is in charge of the police here anyways?
That would be the mayor.
Then I'm going to see him.
He can't waive the impound fees.
No, but he can get an earful from me about how he is running this town. What is it called?
Bakersfield.
Right, Bakersfield.
Well, good luck, little lady. Don't hurt yourself on the 5 miles of pavement to City Hall.
I've walked every hill in San Francisco in high heels. I will manage fine. I'd say good day, but I have no desire to.
Mr. Mayor, there's a fashion reporter here to see you.
Fashion reporter?
That's what she says.
What does she want to see me for?
She says it's about the cotton farm strike.
Cotton farm strike? Must be about a holdup on cotton for blouses or something.
Do you want me to send her away?
It's a quiet day. Send her in, I suppose.
Mr. Mayor.
Hello. I understand you're a fashion writer for a newspaper. You want to discuss the strike.
Fashion correspondent, and yes, I'd like to discuss the strike.
A little odd to send a fashion lady out here to interview me about the strike. But remember, if I say something is off the record, it better stay that way.
Oh, no, Mr. Mayor, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I am a fashion correspondent, but I'm not here to interview you about the strike.
Oh? Then what are you here for?
I'm here to tell you you are handling the strike all wrong.
Oh, am I? And did I start the strike?
No, but you're helping the strikers' employers break up the strikes.
Those strikers keep blocking freeways, and more importantly, keep food and resources from Americans who need them.
Many of the Americans you speak of are farm workers themselves.
Perhaps, but many more are from elsewhere.
Well, don't you think people keeping this country fed at least deserve better working conditions? Better housing? Being treated with dignity and respect?
Respect? They're farm workers. They know their lot in life.
I believe all people doing their best deserve the same respect as the richest princess in Europe. And the people keeping Americans and our soldiers fed deserve a lot more respect than mayors like you sitting in your concrete fortress of bureaucracy.
Well, perhaps you should stop writing fashion columns and start writing children's books with all those pie-in-the-sky notions of yours. Good day, Miss Hampton.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not finished.
I said good day. Geraldine!
Yes, Mr. Mayor?
Please escort Miss Hampton here out of City Hall.
Oh, an escort is a little absurd, don't you think? I'm clearly not a threat to anyone.
Ma'am, I need to ask you to leave.
Or what? Let me guess. You'll call the cops?
Yes, she will. Now leave.
I will leave, but with a grave prediction you should take heed of. The times are beginning to change, Mr. Mayor. listeners, I'm leaving City Hall a failure. I thought surely a good talking to with the mayor of this town might put things in the right direction, but...
Miss Hampton!
Oh, Arturo, what are you doing here?
I came to find you.
How did you know I came to City Hall?
When you didn't come back to the farm in that green Packard, I figured something went wrong. That impound man said you came here. I tried to get your car out of the impound, but...
Oh, you shouldn't have even tried. $50 is just too expensive.
50? They tried charging me 75.
Some people really like to make life difficult for others, don't they?
To say the least.
Why would you try and help me like that? You shouldn't put your hard-earned money towards my troubles.
You helped me before, remember? All the trouble I had with the zoot suits?
I can't say I helped. I invited you to lunch and you wound up getting arrested.
Sure, but you tried to help anyway. And here you are, dropping everything, trying to help me again.
And my great reward? My package is impounded. The mayor kicked me out of City Hall, and I'm stranded in Bakersfield.
Where were you traveling to anyway?
San Francisco.
Oh, that's not too far. Have you ever hitchhiked before?
What? Heavens, no.
Oh, Mary, it's not as bad as your fashion friends probably think. And I can come with you.
Come with me? To San Francisco?
Sure, I've never been.
Well, sure, of course you can join me, but what about the strike?
It failed, Mary.
I'm sorry.
But it's fine. It's not the first time and it won't be the last. But if we all keep working together for better working conditions and for respect, then someday things will change.
I entirely agree. So how does this whole hitchhiking thing work anyways?
See how we're walking along the road towards the highway? Every time a car goes by, I put my thumb out. That's all there is to it.
Yes. But what if no one stops for us?
And then we have a lot of walking to do. But we can talk along the way.
And what if whoever does stop for us isn't of the kindly sort?
Oh, well, that could happen, I suppose. But there's unkindly sorts everywhere. Thankfully, you're not alone. And most people who stop are like you, kind and generous enough to help another person in need.
Your trust in the good side of human nature is very admirable, Arturo.
Hey, you two need a lift?
Yes, sir.
Where are you headed?
San Francisco.
I can get you to Stockton if that helps.
Sure does. That'll help us plenty.
Hop on in.
See, Mary, most people that stop just want to help. Now let's get you to San Francisco.
Headed for San Francisco, huh?
Yes, my old stomping grounds. I still do pieces for some papers out there.
What about you?
Me? I've never been.
Oh, I can't wait to show you around. Oh, there's so much to see. The Golden Gate Bridge, the cable cars,
The first sight I'm going to see is probably the newspaper classifieds for a job.
Good idea. And I know just the paper to look over and a great cafe to look it over alongside some fresh brewed coffee.
That sounds fine to me, Mary.
You two are quite an odd couple. Thank you for listening to High Fashion Highway, The Problems with Picketers. Mary Hampton was performed by Lis Dye. Arturo was performed by Francis Isais-Einkauf. Farmer Man was performed by Kevin Bowler. Impound Man was performed by Mark Thayer. Geraldine was performed by Julie Salinas. Mr. Mayor was performed by J. Chip, with additional voices from Kennedy Ramos and Xandre Bartholo. Sound effects used in this broadcast come from the public domain via FreeSound. Music heard in this broadcast comes from Guild Music and incorporates sections from the following pieces: Summer Garden, Witch's Ride, Shades of Destiny, VooDoo, and Throughout the Years. Seek out Guild Music for a fantastic array of thematic and orchestral selections. This production is a work of fiction and was written and produced by Nick Seider. All characters and voice dialogue are owned by Seider Company. Thanks for listening.